All right, and welcome back to Do News. I'm your host, the King of Do, on this New Year's Eve, and I've got a challenge for you guys. It's going to be an exciting 2018, and if you guys are ready to make it happen, now's the time. So we're going to be going over some different ways that you guys can do some investing, some different concepts for investing, and it's a challenge. It's a challenge investment idea that I have for you, something to think about, something to consider, and we're going to dive into it right now. All right. So guys, what we're going to be looking at doing is what I like to call the hodler's challenge, the ultimate hold, the epitome of how strong you are. But we're going to do it in a way where you can't fail, you can't lose if you do it this way. And this is essentially how you're going to do it. So the first thing that you want to be aware of, and a lot of people actually don't know about this. A lot of people use CoinMarketCap and they're not aware of all the tools that it has. A lot of people use it to go check the prices and things like that. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go here and click on Tools, and you want to go look at historical snapshots. So we're going to go back in time to 1 year ago today. Let's go on down to 2017, January 1st, all right? So this snapshot here was taken. You can look on the screens here, and hopefully that's big enough for you to see. But we're looking at the prices 1 year ago for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, Monero, Ethereum Classic, Dash, MadeSafeCoin, Augur, and Steem. Those were the top 10 coins a year ago today. Now, if you've been around for a while, you've probably heard of most of those. If you haven't been around for a while, you probably have no idea what in the world MadeSafeCoin is, what Augur really does. And you probably haven't signed up for Steemit and actually experienced a real application of the blockchain yet. So those are the top 10. Now here's the crazy thing, is that all of these have experienced exponential growth. Bitcoin, just under $1,000 on January 1st a year ago. Ethereum was at $8.26. Ripple wasn't even a penny yet. It was 0.6 of a penny. You had Litecoin at $4.37. Man, that's ridiculous. Monero, $13. Wow. Ethereum Classic, you know, that had just forked off a few months prior, and already sitting at $1.45. Dash, $11.26. MadeSafeCoin, just almost a dime, just under a dime, basically a dime. Augur was only $3.80, and Steem, 17 cents. All right, guys. So it was a crazy year in 2017 based on this historical snapshot. And the challenge that I have for you guys is to consider doing the exact same investments that you should have done a year ago. And that would have been investing just in the top 10, just the top 10. Now, you're looking at these and you may initially think, well, you know, those aren't top 10 anymore. But if you actually look at the prices, they've gone up so dramatically. They may not be top 10, but you still saw thousands of percents of gain. Not 100%, not 200%, not 500%, not 1,000, thousands. In fact, if you actually invested $1,000, you would have seen, gosh, what's 37,000%? Do the math on that. And that's essentially what you would have gotten in return this last year in the crypto markets if you simply held the top 10. Okay, so that's pretty cool. You're like, well, that's a good idea. Now, some of you that are much wiser, you're like, well, there's more money in the market now, things like that. Yes, that is true. That is true. But would you be happy with 1/50th of that performance, 100th of that performance? You know, 300% gains in 1 year? I'd be pretty happy. And I'd feel pretty confident in being able to say that's going to happen if you just invest in the top 10. In fact, it only takes one coin in the top 10 to go hyperbolic, just like we saw Ripple do recently, right? It only takes one of them to explode for you to basically consider that investment very wise. So if you have only $100, you can do this. $1,000, $10,000, whatever amount you want to do, you can actually do this. Now, one of the ways that I would recommend that you actually diversify, and if you want to join me on this challenge, guys, I'm doing this. I will be doing this challenge. If you want to join me, the best way to do it would be do it like this. Down below, I recommend some exchanges, and the one that I would use to set this up, I would actually set up a Binance account, because you can have as many Binance accounts as you want with only an email address, and you're good. You know, the only thing you're limited on is how much money you're taking out, right? So you can get an account set up that's completely separate than your current Binance account or something like that, okay? Just completely separate. So you can't touch it or get access to it unless you really try, right? So that's the first thing you do. Then, you know, this snapshot will be taken. You'll be able to come to CoinMarketCap. You'll be able to come here in a couple days and look at the snapshot for basically what were the prices that day. You can do the math real quick and be like, all right, I'm going to split up my $100 perfectly evenly, $10 into each, and that's it. You'll be able to do that on Binance, all right? So what you'll do is you'll go on to Coinbase. If you don't have a Coinbase account, link down below for that as well. You'll purchase your Bitcoin first, because that is basically what everything is pegged to. You have to trade in Bitcoin. So you'll purchase your Bitcoin. You'll then create your Binance account, send that money over. It's really easy to do. And then you're going to buy the exact amounts so that you perfectly diversify 10% into the top 10. Once you've done that, now this is where it comes down, guys. You know, we all have New Year's resolutions, and we're all going to fail at them except this one, okay? Here's what you're going to do. You are then going to either find your best friend or your wife or your husband, a relative that you trust greatly, and you are going to sit them at your computer, and you are going to reset your password. They are going to reset it, write it down for you, and they're going to give you that for Christmas next year, okay? That's a Christmas gift to yourself, that they will actually give you the password back to your Binance account so that you can log in and you're good to go. All right. Now you may want to actually get multiple copies of that password. You definitely don't want them to forget it. There's a different kinds of strategies you can do to make sure that nothing goes wrong in 1 year, okay? And I would highly advise that. Now, if you think you're really strong and disciplined, you don't have to do that part, but I dare you to do that part. I dare you to sit there with an account a year from now that's worth thousands and thousands, and you're like, oh my gosh, I just want access to it. You know, I need that money. I want to use that money. There's other things I want to invest in, etc. Well, you know what? That's not part of the challenge. So keep that in mind when you select how much money you're actually going to apply to that particular challenge, okay? That, like, you are not ever going to see this until Christmas. All right? So, you know, I just went out to dinner yesterday. Yesterday was my anniversary, and it literally just felt like I had just gone out on my anniversary dinner last year, and a year ago. Basically, within 1 year, cryptocurrency has completely changed my life, completely changed my perspective on the world, what's possible, both in my personal life, both in my business life, but definitely just what in technology is capable during our lifetimes. It's been really, really exciting, and I hope that you guys have found it as exciting as well. We've got a few people coming in here just to say hi, and let's see who's in chat real quick. Let me bust this open and find out what is going on. Let's get some pop-out chat here. All right, we got Matt Blessin saying hi. What's up, Matt? Got the Harvard guys in the house. Happy New Year. Happy New Do. I like it. I like that. How am I doing? I'm doing great. I can't tell you how good I'm doing. There's been a lot of things that I've been learning about lately, guys. I want to share a lot of them, but at the same time, I don't want to like come across as some kind of like guru expert or that I know how to do certain things within trading. But I've been spending a lot of time, basically all my free time, sitting here with charts across all my screens, but I'm studying. I'm actually taking courses, paid for a course, in fact, specifically cryptocurrency trading. I've been doing a lot of homework, free homework, things I don't pay for, on a lot of different websites, and a lot of those things I'm gonna share with you guys a little bit of that in the new year. Kind of show you what I've been learning, where you can go to learn it, more or less, right? Because I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm a good teacher, that I'm an expert at it. I'm also not going to sit here and say I've made a lot of money doing it. I will say that since I have begun taking it very seriously, even in this market right now, you guys know the market is basically going the wrong direction. I have placed some money, some play money. I took some money, set it aside to test my skill sets, see what I can learn, and I've been having success. I don't want to talk about how much, but all I can say is I'm definitely beating the market, and I've actually increased my net worth by doing those trades just on that specific one practice account that I am trading on. So I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys some of the basic principles that have one thing I've really gotten good at. I feel I've gotten good at is when to buy. And also the strategies about buying. I'm going to be talking about those things in the next year, about when to get in to different coins and things like that. But as of late, I've been practicing more and more of my exit strategies, and I'm still working on them. But as I've improved my planning and my strategies for exiting my positions, that has actually really helped me be able to maintain my winnings and essentially kind of let it ride, if that makes sense. So lots of Happy New Year's. Happy New Year from Scotland. You guys already had a New Year. This is ridiculous. You can actually take the challenge right now. You could go to CoinMarketCap, write down the numbers, do the math, invest right now. That's exciting. Happy New Year from Australia and Western Australia. Who are you people? I hope I get to come visit you someday soon. That would be really cool. Speaking of visiting, I'm still seriously considering going to New York in May. There is a cryptocurrency, well, not cryptocurrency in general. It's actually Ethereum and Ethereal Summit that goes down in New York. Last year, it was a really big deal. It happened right around the time EOS got announced and things like that. Basically, all these new coins and different ideas all come together, and awareness grows at an unbelievable rate around this event. And I really just want to go and actually meet and talk to the people that are essentially changing the world, and connect with them, learn about opportunities I have to contribute, and at the end of the day also, let's see if we can validate some of these technologies, talk to experts in the industry, and see what else I can learn. I've been blessed this year, and I think it's reasonable that I invest a little time back and go and learn more, and continue to hopefully have more success again in 2018. Who else we got in here? Got a few people. Tracy K, been following since July. Good to have you back, Tracy. I remember you. Michael Scott, Happy New Year. And I can't even say your name, but Happy New Year from Russia. I can't read it. I can't read your name, but Russia is here. We're representing the entire world right now. That's what's really awesome about this community. That's what's awesome about cryptocurrencies and blockchain tech. And as you guys know, if you guys aren't aware, that's what I'm really passionate about. I'm more passionate about I really try to divide the currency side of things. So really, even the currency, it's all on a blockchain. Everything here is blockchain technology, but all of the fascinating, new, exciting, world-changing ideas actually really doesn't have that much to do with the currency side of things. It's a lot more to do with the smart contracts and the code, and ideas like building an operating system on a blockchain like EOS is doing. And we still don't even know if that's real. We don't even know if they're going to be capable of doing it, but they have more. They might have the most capital of any startup in the history of mankind, so I'd hope they invest it wisely and give us some kind of working product. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We may actually get to see some results of that as early as next month, actually. I believe with Dong coming out, so it's exciting. Where did I go? Okay, I guess now is a good time. Okay, guys. Believe it or not, there were a lot of rumors, a lot of crazy rumors, and I think some of my friends and things like that may have spurred those rumors on. Some people thought I died. Some people thought I was in some kind of ridiculous, crazy accident. I thought about just kind of pranking everyone and being like, coming up with this story that's so ludicrous. I was flying a helicopter and, got shot down in a jungle and had to survive with a broken leg for like 6 days on my own. Had to eat my toenails to stay alive. I thought about doing that because I actually think people probably would have believed it, because some of the things that I saw in my video chats, people that were wondering where I am, what is the King of Do doing? He must be doing something epic because his name is Do. So let me just kind of give you the truth. I had a very, very important moment in my entire life this year around April. I had some opportunities come to light. As you guys know, I even started this channel because I was looking for opportunities in blockchain, and I've even had some where I've got to review some white papers for people, give them some feedback, marketing-wise, branding-wise. You guys know that that's actually kind of more of my forte, is helping with branding and building brand equity for brands. Most of my experience is on the e-commerce side of things. However, a lot of that does play into a lot of these blockchains and technologies. But essentially what happened is I had an opportunity come up. I was considering it, but then I had a new opportunity at my current work to step up. And so I've stepped up. I've devoted a lot more time and energy to that. And this year, basically did some amazing things. I built some a new program for my business that has so far been pretty successful. And now it's just taking it to the next level and commercializing it and things like that. So that was a big piece of it. The other piece of it, just to be honest, is, I was going through the summer, and right before about football season, I usually take a break and spend a lot of time on my own, and I started taking just some time off away from the channel to focus on basically myself. During this entire time, these markets are going crazy. I realized that the amount of effort I was putting into these videos, I would have to come home and I'm doing about 2 hours of homework. I would spend my lunches at work doing my homework sometimes, and trying to come up with, what news matters, what news do you want to hear, and, actually trying to figure out what to talk about. Some days it's easy. Some days, guys, there's so much news out there, it's stupid. Then there's days where there's almost nothing, and I felt quite obligated to give you guys what you guys were looking for, which is, you guys love the news, and I want to keep bringing you guys news. But it became definitely a task that, I have no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind there will be people who do it as a living. Some people already are. You guys know Crypto's channel, that they do it for a living. And, that's just not 100% feasible for me, because I actually have a lot more going on than just this YouTube video and just my job. I have other things that I do. I'm very entrepreneurial. I'm always hustling. So if there's a hustle, I'll hustle it. But so that, I'm pretty busy, and I was trying to say, okay, is the channel, am I getting what I want out of the channel? I was, but it just wasn't what I wanted. So I took a break to reflect on this channel and what I want to do. And so part of what I have planned for next year, I've got a few things planned, and I really want your guys' feedback on this, actually, and it's so important to me. Please don't leave it in the live chat. Please leave it in a comment below how you feel about my plans. So one thing is I'd like to start another channel on YouTube. I'd like it to be specifically for the people that want help with more of the technical side. The how to do the do. How to do cryptos. I still don't have a name for it, but I have a few ideas written down and things like that. And so that's one thing where essentially my most successful videos have always been that. Okay, the news lasts one day and it moves on and no one cares, right? Essentially, when I'm looking at my brand, the King of Do brand, and what I want to do with it, and how I want to grow this community, I have to consider what is the best way to continue to grow. And I started realizing that, you know what, the conversations that we're having, you, me right now, the most people in this chat, we can actually have pretty mature conversations in the crypto space, and you guys actually can understand what I'm saying, and we learn together. However, for someone like maybe a relative of yours that just got into this, they don't have a clue. They don't know where to begin. And they need someone they can trust and someone that can help them and teach them and step by step. And I'd like to build a channel for that and kind of, and I know there's a lot of those channels out there, but I really, really feel like that if I can do both at the same time, it'll help bring in new people into the community, into this community. It'll give you somewhere to point people to. And hopefully that will help those people even learn how to send crypto, buy crypto, trade it, the difference between a smart contract and a cryptocurrency, start getting into those things. And a little bit more educational. But also kind of get into the world of mining. I definitely have experience in that. I have a lot to offer there and a lot to teach people. In fact, that's the #1 request I get. People just straight up, even on the news channel, they're like, hey, just do mining videos, please. And I'm just like, oh. But I have this audience. I have you guys that want the news, right? That's what you want from me. So I've been thinking about that. What I'm thinking about doing with this channel is being more focused on just general me. More like this, more conversational. What's new? What's happening? How are things working out? Where is my mind going? More of a, definitely more opinionated. A lot more opinionated maybe. Actually give you guys opinions. Maybe even make some trade calls and things I believe in. Like this is a good time to potentially get into different coins, things like that. As well as just give up my straight up opinion, against coins and why maybe you shouldn't own them. More opinionated and maybe not as much news. And with that being said, I've been considering how I still fit in the news for you guys. So that may end up being another channel. I may have 3 channels, right? And I've done a lot of research onto, should I have multiple channels? Or should I have one channel and just create a bunch of playlists? I've been getting help from a YouTube expert, watching a lot of his videos and taking a lot of his advice. Technically speaking, I feel like I need to do multiple channels, but I have no problem doing just one. If you guys truly feel like that stuff won't annoy you, that, you see these random videos that aren't news, and you're okay with that, let me know in the comments. Tell me if you'd rather have it split up, because essentially what's going to happen is when you guys get an alert that the King of Do just released a video, you're going to get excited, and when you go, you're going to be all pumped and excited, and then it's going to be me telling someone how to buy on Coinbase. Right? And I don't want to let you guys down. But if you believe that that's not a big deal, let me know, because again, at the end of the day, you guys are my audience, and hopefully my friends. Hopefully you guys will give me true, honest opinion on, like, I don't want to hear that stuff, dude. So don't do it. And I'll be like, okay, I just won't do that. I'll do it over here. So that's kind of my content plan for the next year. I'm also looking at hiring an intern. I've been trying to define that job description, actually. So there's so much that has to happen, guys, right? There's the prep for the video. There's actually doing the video. It's a lot easier when I just live stream, but some of these other videos where I need to teach, it's got to be like planned out in order, just to, give myself a little script, make sure everything's there. Then of course afterwards, the marketing part, actually getting the videos seen, getting all the metadata on the back end set up and all that fun stuff. So it's a lot of work. So yeah, looking at an intern. If any of you are interested, feel free to leave a comment or message me. I actually have zero idea of what I'm going to be paying right now because I haven't defined the job. Just so you know, it's like I'm still writing out all the tasks that I do. Then I got to define which ones do I want someone else to do of those tasks, right? Which ones are easy enough that, you know, it's really, you know, I can hire an intern, basically, you know, whether you're in college or high school or something, that someone can actually just get the job done. These repetitive tasks, time-consuming tasks, tasks where you have to wait for things to process, things like that. So kind of been looking at that. So there's two. So those are the two core pieces. I have a new content plan in place that I'm working on, and then I've got a potential opportunity for an intern to help me grow the channel because you know, I've got goals myself this year. I'd like to see this channel grow 10x based on the results so far. Just recently, there's no reason that that's actually probably a pretty low goal. But I have other goals in my life as well that I like to do. But so that's it. That's it. So that's my plans for the new year. I hope you guys have some awesome plans and some resolutions. I don't have anything I'm gung-ho about. I am gonna go to the gym a little bit more, and that's about it. I don't like to define that. You know, what I've been trying to do is ask myself, what type of research can I do while I'm at the gym? You know, can I bring an iPad with me and get some work done? I really hate gyms that they don't have a gym where I can bring a laptop. I would, you know, if I could have my laptop open and just be riding a bike, knocking it out, that would be fantastic. But luckily my gym has Wi-Fi. I've been looking at things like that. That way I can still be on top of the news, still get a workout, come home, deliver to you guys, and I'll always look fresh and clean right out of the shower just for you, or super sweaty, depending on what time it is. So, oh man, so we got a lot of people in chat here. What do I think of Tron and Power Ledger? I like Power Ledger a lot. I like the charting that I see on it. I'm looking at the Elliott waves. Getting technical on you, but the technicals look good for next year. I do like that it's a utility coin. I have a lot of faith in a lot of the utility coins next year. What you guys see happening right now in the market is you see an unbelievable new influx of people. People that have no idea what this stuff is. You've probably all had someone come to you, one of your friends, and say, hey, I want to buy that Ripple stuff. How do I do it? And they don't actually have a clue what it does. They just want to buy it because they know someone that made a bunch of money on it, right? Hey, I want some too. I heard it's only a couple bucks. You know, that's cool. What if it's the next Bitcoin, right? Well, the person talking to you doesn't understand market cap and things like that. They don't understand that it's already number 2. Sure, it could become number 1. You know, I'm not going to sit here and act like I can predict the future. But you and I both know that, no Ripple is going to be a $20,000 someday, okay? Unless there's, like, stupid hyperinflation in the U.S., then it would be $20,000 USD for sure. But, yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that situation right now. All these new people coming in, as they get educated, they're going to start understanding some of the utility coins. And a utility coin like Power, that's somewhat easy to understand. Money's going to flow in. You're going to see money flow into a lot. Here, I'll give you guys a few. You guys, this is free right here, guys. This is free. I do have a portfolio that I'll be sharing. I worked really, really hard on a 2018 portfolio. I shared 5 of those coins recently in a video, but I have a full-blown portfolio that I'll be sharing with you guys. I won't lie, there are people out there charging a lot of money for access to their portfolios. I guarantee you this portfolio is worth just as much. The amount of time I've put into it, I've ran it by different people, I've worked on it with different people. I've also paid for some of those portfolios just to extract people's professional opinions, both from a technical analysis and from a technology analysis of, is it actually real or not, etc. And I actually have a portfolio that I'll share with you guys in an upcoming video. So make sure you subscribe. Definitely do that if you're new here. You definitely want to see that. So some utility coins that I'm really, really excited about. NEM is absolutely killer. It finally has moved up. If anyone was watching my video back in summer, I kept on telling everyone to buy it. Every time it dropped down to 17 cents, I was like, if it's under 17 cents, you buy it. That's it. End of story. All those people are quite happy right now. Definitely NEM. It's going to go crazy along with NEO. Both of those are going to go crazy. The majority of the world lives on the other side of the planet from me. And right there is where all the most exciting technology is actually getting integrated, being supported by governments, being regulated with the actual understanding of what the technology does. Here in the US, no one has a clue. You know, we have a bunch of lawmakers that unbelievably don't have a clue. It's like, I can't even talk about it. It makes me really upset, but they just don't know. And so the odds that this stuff gets regulated well and supported and encouraged is really low. I love Ethereum, but most English-speaking countries are anti-crypto. And that's going to be really, really hard because Ethereum is very, very well positioned in that side of the world. NEO, NEM, amazing solutions that are already being adopted that are going to blow up and are going to continue to blow up. I would strongly encourage you, especially on NEO. If you are a hardcore Ethereum user, you better have some NEO. You should have already had some by now, but it's a hedge. You need to hedge yourself. It only takes one bug in the Ethereum platform to really give it a bad rap, to kind of slow down its progress and really get people to consider something else. I recently read an article, and I'll actually bring it up. I was talking to a good friend of mine about this article, actually, and I hope that I still have it up. But what it was is it was a healthcare article. Doesn't appear that I still have it up. I was hoping I did. But what it was it was a article that actually talked to a healthcare organization about blockchains, and they actually formally selected which one to develop on. And they sat down and they looked at a few different ones. They looked at Ethereum. They looked at NEO. They looked at OneNote. And there was another one that they looked at, and I can't remember off the top of my head. I apologize. Maybe someone has heard it before, knows what I'm talking about. Put it in chat. But it was a beautiful article, and they broke down exactly why they chose NEO. They literally chose NEO, and this is an American-based group, and they actually felt like they were much more comfortable working with NEO and things like that. Oh, I think it may have been, maybe it was Stratus. Yeah, it was Stratus. That was the other one they were looking at. So they looked at all those, and they decided to go with NEO, and it was just really, really well written from the perspective of the people who actually are making the decisions of what blockchain to implement in their institutions. Anyhow, NEO is a big one that I'm really excited about. Actual real, very, very real technology there, utility that exists. OmziGo, real utility on the Ethereum blockchain, of course, but very, very real utility. Populous, huge opportunity on Populous. I hope you guys have been picking that one up. A lot of people have. A lot of people really, really like Populous. Stratus, you know, man, I wish I could set up a contract and make a bet because I am willing to bet a lot of money that this will be triple digits this year. It's one that you definitely want to consider. They quietly continue to produce results, and I want to talk about Stratus just for a moment because I think a lot of people are missing the boat on Stratus because they're quiet and they don't seem to have a lot of you know, hype. But we do know that they're on the Azure platform and things like that. And Stratus is an amazing solution that actually allows developers to essentially, with a few clicks of a button, create your own chain that's a side chain to Stratus. So if your business or company needs its own blockchain solution, it can create it almost instantly and start developing in the way that it sees fit but still be connected to a fully robust, fully developed, and fully supported blockchain. It's also written in code that regular developers can actually understand, whereas Ethereum, you got to take a boot camp on learning Solidity. Right now, companies can't hire those people because they don't exist, or most of them became millionaires in the last 2 years. So it's really, really hard to hire those folks. Stratus fills that gap. But here's the actual business plan, I would say, the 101 for Stratus that I think a lot of people miss. They aren't trying to go after the business you work for or I work for, okay? Stratus is trying to be the solution for the Microsofts of the world, the Googles, even Facebook. Those are their potential clients. We know this for a few reasons. One is their strategy around their master nodes and how much money they cost. Basically, if you actually want to be a legitimate, if you want to have a legitimate say in what the chain does, you have to put up some huge money. Big, big money. And so that's the play that they have. So we already know that they've been working with Microsoft on Azure, and there's meetings and stuff like that going on, but nothing super sexy and exciting, and people just kind of write it off. But they continue to develop and continue to grow, and it's something to keep your eye on, because if all it takes is one of those partnerships, and you're going to see fireworks. You will see Stratus go straight up to a top 10 overnight. And even if they don't do that in 2018, I still believe they'll hit triple digits because of the things that they're actually producing. They're going to continue to attract smart money. It's undervalued right now, at least in the sense, look, the whole market's overvalued. Let's get that out of the way. In the sense of what it's being compared to, and the things around it. The opportunity, the potential reward of Stratus, all of this is speculative. This whole market is speculative. People are underestimating Stratus, and its speculative value is far too low compared to a lot of the chains in and around it. Other ones I really, really like, I like Waves. Komodo, I've talked about Komodo a few times. I'm huge on Komodo for this year. I think that if you go study Komodo, you'll fall in love. Go check out Komodo. ARK, you guys have to study and understand ARK. Pick it up on some dips. It's affordable, very, very affordable, and undervalued like a lot of these. Veritasium, it's a hard one to say. It took me a very, very long time. I'll be honest, it took me a long, long time to actually even give any respect to Veritasium. Once I gave it its respect, I then began to like it. And as I liked it, now I believe in it. I do believe that it has an opportunity to be a game changer. They have patents on a lot of the things that they're working on. They have some big news coming out very soon in regards to their technology being used for government applications, and that's straight from the source. You can actually go listen to Reggie Militan has his own channel on YouTube. You can actually go straight to the source and learn that info. So it's not like a rumor. I didn't make that up, but legitimately, there's going to be news. He said very, very soon. There will be some news in regards to them working with the government using their smart contract systems for government use, for governance, actually. Even voting would be an example, using the blockchain for voting, even though that their technology is actually designed to be used for basically for the financial markets. Salt, if you guys don't know what Salt is, you probably have noticed it recently. There's a lot of hype on Salt exploding. It's basically a way that you can actually leverage your Ethereum. It's going to let you actually put up your Ethereum, get a loan for putting up your Ethereum. And I don't advise it, but there's a lot of people doing that to invest more money into the markets. So right now, it's a working product. You can go there right now, go get a loan. You can go get a Salt loan right now. So if you own some Ethereum, go get a Salt loan. Digibyte. Okay. This one's hard for me to talk about. But don't be surprised if it explodes. And I mean epic, like super epic explosion, okay? So back in April, when the markets exploded, you guys probably may or may not have paid attention or kept track, but we actually are going through the same market cycles as we did back in April in regards to Ripple exploded, right? And then you had storage coins start to explode, right? Well, what came after that was Digibyte. Digibyte exploded. Digibyte is been quietly, consistently driving development forward, and I'm not the biggest fan of Digibyte, I'll be honest. However, I do believe that the next market cycle for Digibyte has begun. If you go, you look at the actual charts, you can actually see it, that the new cycle is beginning, and that if it actually does what it did last time, it's going to generate a level of awareness and support that it didn't last time. Because don't forget that our entire market cap was, 1/10 of what it is now. So the number of people that are going to be exposed to it and support it, it's going to be different this time. And that cycle has begun, and you're actually seeing that price movement beginning and the volume increasing on Digibyte. Make sure you guys are paying attention. But that's one that I actually expect to do some fireworks this year. And guys, when it comes to investing, I could give a crap about the technology sometimes. I really, really mean that. This one, it's got some good things within it. There's a few good things about it. At the end of the day, it's strictly a technical analysis on what the market's doing in the market cycles. If you've been in cryptos long enough, you've seen these market cycles happen over and over and over. And we just hit a giant reset button. This market is like it's just started all over again. There's that many new people. You get on Reddit, and everybody is in love with whatever the coin is that day. They don't actually know what it does. Meanwhile, go and you look at the charts, and you actually look at which coins have real technology and real, the smart money is always going to win. The people who hold the smart technologies are always going to win. There's always going to be the pump and dumps, things like that. But Digibyte, make sure you go do the technical analysis on that one. VeChain's interesting as well. And I could keep going here. I think 10x will surprise people this year. Very, very in a way that will really shock some people. I think 10x will be a big one. Power Ledger is what got us going. I like Dragon Coin as well. I think there's some surprises they have up their sleeves there. And that's all we'll do for now, because I could keep going for hours. You guys always get me going with these questions. Anything new on Smart Cash? Well, I mean, the price doubled since I talked about it, so I didn't tell anyone to invest in it, but I hope you did. Right? Yeah, that it went hyperbolic. We're expecting the Masternode news to come out any day now, and I believe that that's a lot of the price increase is that people are purchasing to make sure that they own a node, and then there's going to be a lot of hype once they actually deliver that working product as well. Let's see. Just going to go through some questions here. Rail blocks. Yeah, a lot of people are pretty excited about rail blocks. Rail blocks will probably explode. I agree with MD711 here. Right now, it's really difficult to buy it, but the price keeps going up. However, keep in mind the idea behind liquidity. The books are very, 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 very thin on the sites where you can buy it, which is a big piece of the price going up. Once you actually allow more people, essentially exchanges exchanges exist to actually allow the free market to determine a price. Okay, Let's get that out of the way. It's like almost the definition of it. And right now it's so limited and hard to get to, and you have to set up an account. There's like this barrier to entry where people are like, yeah, whatever. Okay. Now, with that being said, once you actually open it up to the public, what I can say for certain is volume will explode. But with high volume, you're going to also see some volatility as the price, the free market, finally decides the real price. So here's all I can say about rail blocks. This is all I'll say, is that the price it is now is not the real price. End of story. It just isn't. I don't know if it's too high. I don't know if it's too low. But once we actually have enough volume, we will finally have a consensus on what the true value is. So I know a lot of people are bullish on it. A lot of people like that it works and that it's fast and all that fun stuff. And that's great. And I know right now it's getting a lot of hype. So for a lot of people, it's their first time they've seen an instant transaction. They're like, wow, that was fast. This is great. Anyone who's been around for more than 6 months has probably found, a dozen coins that do it just as fast. So, and really that's what everyone kind of is hyping. The recent Bitcoin, I'll call it a disaster. CryptoKitties as well on Ethereum. All these slow blocks getting filled up, transactions not being done quickly enough, everything's slow. Of course people think that something fast is going to change the world, right? You're seeing a lot of people start hyping up Litecoin. Litecoin I like a lot for next year. A lot of people are hyping it up just because, basically it's Bitcoin. I mean, it is. It's practically basically a fork of Bitcoin. It adopts all the Bitcoin technology that is good, and but it's just faster, So a lot of people are moving that around. Cryptopia, for example, has they actually let you trade pegging against Litecoin the same way Bitcoin is on most exchanges. So I don't know. When it comes to rail blocks, I don't actually see something that's like blowing my mind or changing the world. But with this massive influx of new people, the hype, their brand equity actually is positioning them to do something quite amazing. I think the other thing is don't forget, just a lot of people made a lot of money on it in the last 2 weeks. So things are a little kind of crazy right now. You have to kind of read through those things as you're in this market. Let me remind you guys, I don't really care that Ripple's up 121% right now. I could care less because we see it all the time. I think all these new people just think that this is the best thing since sliced bread. But what they don't know is any one of these top 10 coins is going to do that next month. It's just going to happen. I don't know which one. Is it going to be NEM? Is it going to be Litecoin? Just flip a coin. I don't know which one it's going to be, but something else will be up 100%. It's just what happens. They think it's amazing. It's just normal crypto. So anyhow, I like rail blocks for what it is. I like the what they've done so far as far as valuation and stuff. Like I said, I have an opinion on it. I think it's a little high right now. The growth is, there's, you guys got to understand with markets, there's overbuying that happens. At the end of the day, there's overbuying that's happening. There's panic. There's fear of missing out on an exchange that just has very, very little volume. And it's very important that you guys recognize that volume. Okay. In fact, right here, I'm looking at the volume. You guys see this right here on my screen? Right there. That's concerning. It's, you're looking at 24-hour volume, and it's the lowest other than BitConnect, and we all know that's a scam. So, I guess that's what I mean. The moment that we open it up on an exchange, you'll see this go easily to the level of, it's going to double at least. at least double the volume. And more volume doesn't always mean good things when it comes to just adding to more exchanges. If you've been around long enough, you know that it's not always the case that a new exchange means more money. Very, very many times it's the opposite. Okay? And I guess I can explain to you why. One of the things that happens when an exchange gets ready to go live is, they start purchasing it. They have to purchase it from where they can buy it on an exchange. They have to be able to actually have some for, when people withdraw. They actually want to put some on the books so people have liquidity at first until the money starts rolling in, things like that. Could this price increase simply be that a few exchanges are buying it, getting ready to, I don't know. It's highly, highly speculative. I'm not even suggesting it, but I'm just telling you that that's actually what actually happens. And then it goes live, and then these exchanges often will, dump down into the price, push the price down so that they actually can make a profit on their own trades. You guys, don't forget that the exchanges, when they take fees in your cryptocurrency, they got to sell it too. They want to sell it. They want to sell it for something else. They want to trade it for something else. Just like you want to trade for something else. So just keep that in mind. Man, we got all kinds of questions. Any news on BitShares? I'm not familiar if there's any news on BitShares. Scicoin. Yeah, Scicoin is a part of the current cycle that you're seeing. The storage coin cycle has started. That's what I like to call it. So, yeah, Scicoin is one that is up and up. The technicals for Scicoin look amazing. That's all I'll say. It's going to look like you're getting in late, but go actually look at the last market cycle for it, and you'll see that it's got a long ways to go here. A long, long ways to go. A lot of money in the market that can pump into these things really, really quickly. You're going to see a lot of that in January, guys, all this money. So right now, people are starting to take their profits with Ripple. Big surprise, right? So people are going to start taking their profits, and they're going to go chase the next hot thing. So what you guys are going to start seeing is, something pops 100% day after day after day, just like rail blocks, and you're going to see 300% in a week, and that's just going to be normal. Down here, you've got, these are up just hundreds of percent, 500%, 250%, 230. This is, it's just crazy. So that's going to be normal. That's the new normal, guys. If you guys think that, all this stuff was volatile and crazy before, now it's really crazy. And people are going to get stupid rich because, not because they're any good at trading. They're not going to buy at the bottom. They're just going to chase what's hot and actually make money because there's so many immature investors that FOMO will win. And there's so much new dumb money in the market for the smart money to basically steal. It's going to take probably a few months for that to go away. If adoption continues, expect to see this happening over and over again. So what's exciting about that, really exciting, is if you have $100 and you want to go ahead and put it into something moving up, you'll likely do really, really well in that still. But keep in mind that things go down as fast as they go up. The smart money knows how to manipulate the market, and the smart money owns all these things already. All these institutions have been buying these things up for much longer. There's a lot more control that they have, and we keep giving them control. Each market cycle, every time we keep giving them a lot of control when we it's just the way that it works. Now with that though, the overall market will always win. Everything will eventually always go up. I'm strictly talking about short term, what people kind of call pump and dumps, but pump and dumps are actually usually 5 to 10 minutes long. If you didn't know that, that's the actual definition. Whenever it's a day or 2 or 3 days, that is actually just the general market losing its mind. That's what I like to call the social media effect. of the cryptocurrency world, where people get in at the bottom. When it first starts moving, they start telling everyone, social media blows up, and then all of a sudden, everyone just starts digging up news articles that were already out there to begin with, but they just like post them till they're blue in the face. And then it goes up, and then it's overbought, and people cash out, like me. I'll cash out at the top. Cliff High mentioned Digibyte. Says it'll be huge in 2018. Well, there you go. You heard it from Cliff High. And me. Does that, I don't know. That doesn't put me in the same boat, does it? If you don't know who Cliff High is, he's a gentleman that has a algorithm that basically does sentiment based on the words people are using. Does forecasting in the same way that you forecast the markets, money. You can chart it out and you actually can have a percentage of confidence based on different charts, and that's something I'll teach you guys. Some really cool websites that do that. You can actually go learn about the most highly predictive types of charting, which means you can literally chart something and have like a 70% chance of being right. No joke. It's proven 70% of the time across all the history of all the markets, etc., to be true when these certain circumstances happen. You can learn about those things. He kind of is building the same thing, and he predicts the future with it. Some of it I wouldn't even say is so much... I have to be careful what I say about him, because I know a lot of people like him, but some of the things he talks about is like that's actually already kind of happening. I don't even think it's a stretch to say some things that he says. But he does do a crypto specific report. His data is telling him that Digibyte is going to have a record year. It's also going to basically transcend, I think is the type of terminology he uses. The data is showing that basically the next time that it goes hyperbolic, the next time it goes through a market cycle, it's going to blow people's minds. And because of that, there's going to be adoption both on the developer side. People are actually going to want to use and develop it. And then you're also going to see a lot more mining support for it. I know that last time it blew up, I even looked into mining it and was just like, well, this is broken. End of story. And that was my opinion at the time. You know, a year later, I'm sure they're going to have a lot of those kinks fixed. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone. Ripple is a centralized shiz coin. We all know that. Yes, we do. You know, I had a revelation the other day. You have to bear with me on this, guys. I'd love your guys' opinion on this. But, you know, I was flipping through Reddit, cryptocurrency Reddit, and gosh, every post was Ripple. And it's just like, that's not what this is not the Ripple, right, Reddit. There literally is one. Go over there and talk. And that's all people are talking about. And of course, you have all these people that, you know, they're trying. We have purists that are, hey, this is not decentralized. This is what are you doing? What are you people doing, right? We have to remind ourselves, more than 9 out of 10 people are brand new. That's how much this has grown. So there are very, 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 very few purists now. It's very scary. I'm not going to sit here and say if you're not a purist, you're bad, because I'm actually not. I'll admit that. I actually do believe that some businesses need their own form for their solutions to make their processes more efficient, more profitable, and blockchain gives them that solution. And there's ways you can do that, like using a Stratus or a NEM, okay? Or you can use Ethereum. That's cool. So you can choose to have more of a privatized, centralized blockchain that gives people security. It makes it so they can sleep at night. I'll be honest, that's the problem with all the storage coins. You guys know all these cloud computing systems, right? If you have a problem, there's someone for you to call. If your Dropbox isn't working, you call somebody and they fix it. That doesn't work in this space. That doesn't exist unless it's centralized, right? So Ripple is trying to create a solution that allows the bankers to sleep at night, but also give them full and utter control of what, the entire system. So it's very, very appealing. Okay, so we all understand that. Now, yes, Ripple is centralized. We all know that. All the people entering the market right now, like I said earlier, people are coming to me and saying, hey, I want to buy that Ripple stuff. And I say, oh, okay, that's great. Do you know what it does? No. But I heard they're working with banks. Oh, okay. So there's just a lot of learning, guys, and we have to bear with these new people and try to help them. Try not to bash them. We need to show them why, teach them what decentralization is and the benefits of it. I bet right now anyone that's bought in, like, I would say 95% of the people who have bought in Ripple in the last month don't know what decentralized solutions are, or what they mean, or why they even matter, or why they are important. What do you think they're here for? They're here for this right here on my screen. They're here for this. 121% in 7 days. Show me somewhere else in the world you make that kind of money. 7 days, 1 week. Some of you have taken vacations longer than 7 days. People are doubling their money overnight, and they don't need to know anything. They don't even have to have a brain. They just have to have put money in. There's no thought. There's just, hey, I hear that Ripple's this next big thing. I want to buy it before it goes to $20,000 like Bitcoin. What? Okay. And that's what's happening. And it's not a bad thing. And if you're holding Ripple, that's fine. Guys, I own Ripple. Shoot me. I don't care. There, I told you. I have some. But it's a hedge. It's a hedge against the idea that all the decentralization stuff doesn't play out the way we want it to. Governments take full control, regulation, and the people are okay with it. And I had this revelation while sitting in my truck the other day, just reading through Reddit, and I was just like, you know what? What if the world doesn't want decentralized solutions? What if the world wants someone else they can trust so that they can sleep at night? They want to put their trust in something else than themselves. And then what if people want someone else to blame when everything falls apart? And that really, really changed my perspective on things in an instant. I kind of had a moment of clarity into what's going on here, in that, one, we have a market fueled by greed right now. People just want to make money, and they don't really care what it is or what it does. They don't care if it's a real product or not. That's irrelevant. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the code is open source or not, or if it's actually been dissected by cryptographic professionals to make sure that all the math works out, and that there aren't potholes, and that there aren't ways for chains to be hacked and explode. I guarantee you this year that will happen. There's a prediction for you. It's definitely going to happen this year. One of these chains is going to have a hole in it because they weren't transparent with it. Anytime that you actually see any type of coin where even a piece of it is centralized in some way, tells you that there's a gap there. They centralize it because they actually don't have the mathematical solutions in place for it to be successful on its own. They know that it's a gap. They know that it's broken. It's like planning to fail sometimes. And many of those exist, and now I'm getting way too technical and way too deep. This is only going to be interesting to people who actually spend their free time reading white papers. I encourage you to, There's a resolution for you. I dare you to start at number 1 and go down the list this year. Read one white paper every day. That will change your life. And that will also give you a new perspective on this technology. You will learn more in a week. You get through these top 7, 1 week. Just do 1 week. Read each one. Blow your mind. Blow your mind. You'll have a lot of questions too. A lot of questions. So anyhow, I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking about, at the end of the day, we'll never get rid of centralized solutions. A lot of governments are going to probably start announcing their own versions very, very soon. We know this. It's not even a secret. It's just not. And we're going to have centralized blockchain solutions in the world. And it's up to the people to decide whether we want it or not. And at the end of the day, the people are voting already, and they're voting with their money. They're going to vote on whatever is hot, whatever is going to make them money. At the end of the day, that's what people want. Guys, the United States dollar has made a lot of people rich in this world. It has. It is a currency solution that has made a lot of people rich. And a lot of people like it and trust it. It is the #1 brand of all time. The biggest brand in the history of mankind, US dollar. Because we trust it so much. It's not backed by anything. It's backed by it's most of these cryptocurrencies have more backing it than the US dollar, just in the sense that there's a consensus of people that agree with the mathematical solutions that create the blockchain and make it secure, immutable, and pure. Whereas the US dollar is just being printed off on a machine and typed into a computer, and magically more money is made, and no one but a couple individuals that think they're smarter than us, than the consensus, smarter than the free market, that they're making all the decisions. So I don't know. You tell me, guys. You tell me. What's a white paper? A white paper, usually you can go to any of these websites. Let's choose one that I know for sure there's going to be a white paper right on the site here. Let's choose. That's a great question. What is a white paper? Here, we'll bring up Stratus here. Essentially, a white paper is kind of like a business plan. Let's see if we can find it. Most technologies have it right on their homepage. Here we go. Stratus white paper. So right here, under the Academy, usually they're easier to find than this. But you'll get a white paper. It's usually a PDF form, and it basically outlines the entire project. I have, in my experience, seen 3 kinds of white papers, okay? I've seen white papers that literally break it down so that you and I and your dog could understand what's going on. Very, very clear, right? Then I find ones like Stratus that are kind of in between. You actually need to understand some concepts like transparency, immutability, understand some security and confidence, things like that go into these ledgers. And it starts outlining it, and basically it'll start explaining the advantages. It's almost like a business plan, almost like a sales deck as well in some cases. However, I have seen white papers, guys, that when you open it up, it's 500 pages of math problems. Literally, it's telling you exactly how it works, and they're sharing it with the world. They have so much confidence in their math. They actually want you to break it. They want you to know. They're attracting people that, do that for fun and say, hey, break our solution. You're not going to find that on the Stratus here, right? But those are actually pretty rare. And those are, I won't lie, guys, those are the ones that actually get me excited. Okay? I'm a marketer. I do marketing for a living, right? And so oftentimes I can sniff out and see through the hype and the messaging and the simplification. But man, when someone actually puts forward their actual hard work, I get really, really excited about it. I get excited because here you have a blockchain solution that hasn't been marketed yet. All they care about is that their product works. That gets me excited. I call that opportunity. The problem is I'm not good enough at math. However, I put it on my watch list. I go into Bitcoin Talk, see what people are saying that are way, way smarter than me, and I just start keeping track of it, keeping my eye on it. You know, what are people saying about it? Are they finding problems in the math? You know, a lot of those solutions and blockchains are out there. There are blockchains right now. Right now, guys, there is a blockchain somewhere on this planet that is not on this list because it's not even on an exchange yet. But there's a white paper for it, and you can probably go read it. And I guarantee you, I'm going through, there's thousands of coins. But I guarantee you, right now, there's a coin. And it will, without a doubt, be a top 50 coin in less than a year. And it's not even on an exchange yet. Look at Railblocks. It pretty much did that this year, right? So anyhow, just kind of getting way off subject. Asking if I was invested. Yeah, I mentioned earlier, yes, I am invested in Ripple. I can say that I strongly disagree with it. Again, it's a hedge. I'm hedging as a smart portfolio. It doesn't take very much Ripple to make sure that you are hedged against it. You know, and it's pretty easy to own Ripple when you were picking it up back when it was pennies. At this point, you just don't care what it does, right? It basically would have to explode to take a loss, and so it's just a piece of a portfolio. I strongly do not agree with Ripple, but I'm not gonna say that it's not gonna be adopted. You know, guys, we got to stop this because it's like asking me if I'm Mac or PC, almost in a way, right? I can strongly disagree with like using a Mac. But at the same time, I actually really, really respect the people that choose it for their profession and what they do with it, because it blows my mind what they're capable of doing with it. So just because I may not like a particular technology doesn't mean I won't invest in it, right? How many people invested in Apple but don't own an Apple product? A whole lot of people, right? There's more to this stuff than one, you know, everything's not apples to apples. Just think about that, guys. I think that's a mature way of thinking about these things. We've got to stop this. This is pissing me off. You guys are getting me angry. Guys, you got to stop. I go into the, you know, everyone is bashing each other's coins. It's like you go into any subreddit, and on every subreddit is basically saying how their coin is 10 times better than the other. I swear, I think I was in the Ripple, and someone just started like bashing, maybe it was Stratus. Those aren't even related. Why would you ever even compare them? They were like, Stratus is so overvalued compared to ours, blah, blah. And I was like, what? You can't even compare the values. It's like comparing the value of a lawnmower to the value of a car. Completely different application, use case, right? Different markets, etc. Like, just the level of immaturity right now on a lot of the Reddit. I have stopped using a lot of Reddit recently, guys. You guys need to get smart, and you need to go where the smart people are. You need to get on Bitcoin Talk. The people who have been around since the beginning of Bitcoin Talk. Get on there. All right. Tron. People want my take on Tron. Tron, to me, is a little bit dangerous at its price right now. It's dangerous. You know, the whole McCaffrey tweeting thing. If you've been paying attention, this guy has basically been pumping coins on his Twitter. He's basically been outed and proven guilty of being paid to do it. And if I remember right, I think he finally admitted it. I can't remember. Anyhow, Tron has had one hell of a month, but it's too soon to tell what its full potential is. You know, I see people say that it's going to be worth $15 this year. I do the math on that, and I'm like, oh, so you think Tron is going to be worth $15? So that's like, oh, so it's better than Bitcoin. Okay, that's cool. You're passionate about it. That's it. That's all I can say to that person is you're really passionate about it. I'm not going to ever say that about any coin, that I think it's going to be bigger than Bitcoin. That would be a very unintelligent thing to say. However, yep, part of my portfolio at the moment, very, very small amount. However, if it goes to $15, I'll be very, very happy. So, you know, like, I hope that person's right. But I also am a little bit smarter than that. So I won't lie, guys. If Tron went to $1, it'd blow my mind. That'd make me a happy camper, right? Circulating supply right now is 65 billion. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I don't think even $1. Because if it went to $1, you're saying that Tron will be right now number 4 overall? Okay, that's reasonable. It could go to $1. Sure, whatever. Anything's possible, guys. This last year, anything's possible. All right. Lots of people saying hi. Happy New Year, everybody. This video is going way, way longer than I thought, but the crowd is just kind of coming in, and people are having a good time. I'm having a good time, and I literally have nothing else to do on New Year's Eve. Right now on the East Coast, looks like they're ringing in the New Year over there now, getting ready for all the balls to drop and things like that here very shortly. Meanwhile, I would much rather be doing what I'm doing right now. This is my idea of a New Year's celebration right here. I'm Alan West. I'm trying to answer your question. Looks like you had a typo there. I don't quite understand what you're asking on. Are you asking about the ticker symbol, or are you did you mistype that there? Because I don't see anything with or. Happy New Year from Atlanta. It's almost midnight there, right? Happy New Year. Let's see. What do I think of ARK being listed on SX Exchange? I'm not familiar with SX Exchange, and I'm not sure how to feel about it. ARK is already on some pretty large exchanges. That's a Forex exchange. Fascinating. That's fascinating. That's what I'll say about that. I will look into that, because that is important to me. You know, the things that they're doing with ARK. ARK is... I do not give financial advice. Let me say that first. Now that I've said that, go buy ARK already. What is wrong with you people? Okay. There. I just had to get that off my chest. Probably one of my favorite technologies for the next 2 years, not just next year. And that's only because, for 2 reasons. Out of all these coins, as far as their potential of what they can do and pull off, they have one of the biggest. And I also think probably one of the most realistic of pulling off. If ARK does what they say they want to do, and they pull it off, and they do it successfully, and they're well on their way, you guys will see ARK go hyperbolic. ARK will become the darling of the cryptosphere next year, but we'll see. It's much more realistic what ARK is doing. Like it's like I actually can see it happening very, very quickly and easily compared to what EOS is doing. EOS creating an operating system on a blockchain. My brain bleeds when it tries to imagine how that's going to work. Even though I've heard a lot of people take stabs at it. I have trouble even explaining to other people what that means. But essentially, if EOS pulls that off, EOS will be the darling next year. You will see EOS do what Ethereum did this year. You'll see it go from $8 to $800. Simple as that. So that's if they can actually get anything done. No, there's nothing to prove that they can do anything they claim at this point, but I will give them the benefit of the doubt because I actually have a lot of trust in their team. They have an all-star team, like truly an all-star team. I'm not just saying that. You guys hear people say that all the time. They literally have people who are all-stars. So, sorry about my cat. My cat's being really loud and annoying. All right. What else we got? Any news on Stellar? I don't think there needs to be news on Stellar. So, again, talking about market cycles, go back in April, and if you actually look at Ripple and Stellar, you can kind of see how they moved together. They basically are offering... They're in the same category. Same category. You guys, pay attention, guys. Pay attention. Do your homework. There's categorical moves that happen in this market, which is fascinating to me. I've never noticed anything like that in other markets except when, like, you know, when there was the internet bubble, internet stocks. That was a category, right? You kind of have the same thing that happens here, but it's happening every about 3 to 6 months, maybe once a year. You'll see these, all of them move together, just like how you saw Lisk and Stratus move up together, right? They're very related. You'll see privacy coins move together. You'll see the Monero and the Pivx and the Zcash, etc., all moving together. There's just something about once one starts getting hyped and people are like, oh my gosh, that's genius. I've never heard of that before. Even though you and I know about it, right? All these new people don't. So they're all about to discover what this stuff is. They're learning right now, right? And they're all going to be like, oh, look at this coin. It's freaking genius. And we're sitting here like, yeah, that's why I've been holding it for 2 years, because it's genius. It starts exploding. What you'll see is, you know, people will then be like, hey, this coin has it too. And they're like, oh my God. And then this coin does it too. Oh my God. And then all of a sudden you have 2 or 3 coins within a category that explode. And that's just, it happens every time. It's, I am going to advise you not to trade in that way, because you never want to try to time the markets and predict the markets. However, pay attention. There is stuff to be learned about that. That's very, very important. That will help you with your investing. And it'll also help you with the diversification. I tell you guys all the time to do that. You know, if you want to own privacy coins, I always tell people, you just need to own like the top 3 or 4, because what's going to happen is one of them will win and be the coin. It will have proven itself to be impossible for anyone to track transactions on, and it will be the immutable, decentralized coin for privacy. And that's likely to happen. That'll probably be like a secondary one, just because of different applications and different cultural differences. I talked about that in my last video. Just that sometimes there's just cultural differences in the way that we like our technology to work and the way that we like to use it. And so that there's actually enough room in the world for something like, you know, Ethereum and some other type of blockchain to exist together and both be successful. Just, you know, it's okay that there's a Neo. This isn't about winner takes all, because the world is too big for that, for a winner take all. So you're gonna diversify. There's good opportunities. Pay attention to what's going on. When you find something exploding, go find the other coins that are similar. Maybe one of them is undervalued, and there's an opportunity there. All right. Why do you believe Ripple's hated so much? So I was talking about that a little bit earlier. Mostly it's because of the decentralized nature. There's too many people that have the coin. Too many of the creators have the majority of the coins, essentially. That gives them too much power. And that's always been a no-no. That's the whole entire philosophy around what made cryptocurrencies amazing to begin with. And a lot of people need to learn that. They don't know that that's actually the majority driving force behind things like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Cardano, for example. There are people that believe it so much. They believe so much in the purity of it. That's why we actually have Ethereum Classic. Ever since the DAO hack, when it forked, Ethereum forked. Ethereum Classic is still considered the pure version of Ethereum, in the sense that it is not tainted. If you make a smart contract that allows someone to rob you, that's your problem. And that's true decentralization. And that's even going back to the example I gave earlier of Ripple. I think that some people in the world just want to be able to have someone else they can trust, and that's why we will always have centralized solutions. Ethereum forking is likely the reason why it's priced at what it's at. Because the Ethereum Alliance likely would not exist, or at least there would definitely not be as many members, unless they forked. You see tons of companies signing up with Ethereum because these companies trust that the dev team has commercialization in mind. Mass adoption in mind, and they will actually break to the pressure from the businesses and adapt to the businesses. And because of that, the price is higher. It's the truth. How many of those companies bought Ethereum and own Ethereum? A lot of them, likely, because they're developing on it. They need it. So, hopefully that helps you understand why people don't like Ripple, because a lot of people believe that greed and power is a bad thing, and that when you give someone too much of it, it's very dangerous. The other thing is there's a lot of controversy on this. I need to do more research on it. But for a very, very long time, the coins of Ripple didn't do anything. It's the network that the banks were trying to access originally. Now, someone in a random Reddit said that that's changed, but I actually need to go do my research on that. So, but that still doesn't mean that it's good when the majority of the coins are held by a select few. That just gives a lot of power. Another reason why that's concerning is there's a lot of chains. Neo is an example where Neo is actually basically shares in a way, in that the sense that you get to vote with your Neo because you own it. You don't want someone to have too much voting power, is a good way to put it. Because at the end of the day, money is voting power anyways. So your cat's name is Chewy. That's my dog's name. In fact, I wonder where. I'm surprised he's not in here. My cat snuck in here, but I hope that answered your question. Why it's hated so much. Basically, it's a coin designed and marketed for banks, and everybody that loves Bitcoin and Ethereum, Cardano, you just go down the list. Litecoin, all these other decentralized solutions. All those people are not happy at all that there's any kind of success, because they're purists. They believe decentralization is all that matters. All right. So, got a few people in here. With Stellar launch, more ICOs similar to Kick. Next year, you're going to see more ICOs than you've ever seen in your life. Now, I know that might excite some of you because you're like, oh my gosh, people got rich off of ICOs this year. Yeah, well, a lot of people lost a lot of money on ICOs. I would actually say, with a high level of confidence, the majority of ICOs lost people money this year. Once they actually hit the free market, again, I talked earlier about liquidity and exchanges and actually determining the price. After that initial sale, once it hit the free market, people lost half their money instantly. More than that. So just keep that in mind. Not every ICO is a winner. I have a group that I'm a part of online that we talk a little bit about the ICOs, and we chat about each one that we get excited about, but we rip them to shreds. We have such a high level of expectation that if it doesn't meet the criteria, we just don't get in it. And that has led to basically being very successful at picking good ICOs. However, the majority, 95% at least, aren't even worth considering in a really big hurry. This year, you're going to see more ICOs than you've ever seen before. You're going to see ICOs launched on basically every chain that you can think of. And it's going to get crazy. Now, in some countries where regulation supports ICOs, you are going to see a flourishing entrepreneurial environment exist like you've never seen before. Likely not since, man, the last time it felt like there was anything like that was when Silicon Valley started growing. You are likely to see in the next 2 to 3 years the equivalent of a Silicon Valley start growing out of Asia somewhere, because that's where the regulators are going to basically be supporting and allowing these things to happen. You know, we already in the U.S., most ICO websites, your internet is blocked from accessing it because the regulations are too steep and too high, it's just unfortunate. So, and that's what it's like in the United States. Most you people somewhere else in the world may not have those problems. So yes, you will see a lot more ICOs next year. What do you think about these Twitter traders? Call a coin, it gets pumped, they make a profit. Yeah. So those are pump and dumpers. There's a lot of different pump and dump groups you can join. You can follow. Here's what I think about them. I think that they'll never go away as long as there is free markets. I have seen this before. The internet actually created this opportunity of pumping and dumping. The idea that you can mass communicate with people at a set time with a set plan. Of course, online exchanges allow you to do this. You weren't able to pump and dump back in the early 90s. However, pump and dump schemes started popping up around the late 90s, early 2000s in traditional markets. Mostly, though, you're not going to see this kind of stuff happen on your traditional stock accounts that you have. However, you'll see it on small caps, like stocks in crazy exchanges like some Canadian exchange or things like that. Oftentimes, they're called penny stocks. These stocks that are a penny or less. And essentially what happens is they announce the coin, everyone buys it at the same time, and then basically everyone dumps them at the same time. Now, the thing is with these pump and dumps, the people who always make money are the people that make the call, because they already bought before they announced it. And they buy it very slowly and in a way where no one's noticing. And then you're actually buying it from them when it gets pumped. So pump and dumps usually last about 5 to 15 minutes, and they're never going to go away. However, they're actually a beautiful thing. They are a beautiful opportunity for people that know how to trade with some wisdom. And I'll be talking about this more this year on my channel, but basically think about it as if you invest in a coin and you plan on holding it for a long time, but why not set a sell order to sell some of it at 20% more than what it's at right now, or 30% or 50%. These pump and dumps will push the price up, and you'll sell at a really, really high price. It'll crash back down. You'll be able to buy more of what you had. And that's happened a lot. And if you go on exchanges, you see that happens a lot. You can actually look at charts and see an insane amount of volume. An insane pump happened within just a few moments. And if you had a sell order, you would have made a lot of money. I've heard some traders even joke about this kind of stuff, in that there's some traders out there that they just set orders at 50% less, and then when they buy it, they set it at 50% higher. And just wait. They're just super, super patient. So I'm not going to say that's a wise strategy, but I've heard people do that. Will Bitcoin fees stay the same? Yeah, fees on Bitcoin aren't going to change too much. You're going to see the fees they're going to turn back down relatively quickly now that we have gotten through that phase of everybody jumping on board. There was a lot of manipulation that was happening that a lot of people don't quite understand how that's done or how it works. But you have a lot of the miners that control all the Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. Essentially, the people that own Bitcoin Cash want Bitcoin to fail. They own an unbelievable amount of Bitcoin. They also own an unbelievable amount of Bitcoin Cash. Essentially, what they start doing, because they can afford it, it's pocket change, they start doing small transactions, paying the high fees, filling out the blocks, slowing down the network, trying to prove a point, trying to prove that their solution is better, making it fail. They've been somewhat successful, very clearly. The market sentiment right now is Bitcoin's going to die, it's going to fail, it's not going to last, something's going to pass it. And I'll be honest, that could happen. But for now, Bitcoin is still gold. Everything's pegged to Bitcoin if you're going to trade or move value or hold value on Bitcoin. Almost always, Bitcoin is going to be the index for the market in how well it's doing, how well it's going to do. And it's still extremely vital and important for our whole entire ecosystem. It is not to be disrespected, but it is definitely misunderstood by the majority of people out there right now. And I should do a whole video on Bitcoin sometime and help people understand how critical it is that Bitcoin continues to succeed, and hopefully it'll have a good year. Hopefully it will. I do believe that Bitcoin will set new all-time highs this year. And man, I'm looking around because my cat's freaking out back here. I think my cat fell behind the couch. I think my cat's stuck. Oh, no, there it is. My cat's high right now, so that's pretty hilarious. And Chewbacca doesn't know what to do. It's hilarious. My cat's name is Finn, so I've got Finn and Chewbacca. And that's definitely on purpose. Alright, guys, so I've been asked for my opinion on rail blocks again. I was here, went over it a little bit earlier. So if you want to watch it again, I kind of don't want to dive back into rail blocks. But to summarize my opinion, there are other solutions that do instant transactions. And there's a lot of hype on this one because of the price increase. And those other solutions should not be ignored. A lot of them are a lot more mature, a lot more proven. And but that doesn't mean that rail blocks won't be the winner, because their timing was impeccable. Their marketing is really well done. And obviously there's mass adoption and a lot of people believe in it now. Whereas if you asked me, 6 months ago about rail blocks, I would have been like, no, because there's these other options, right? I would have told everyone 6 months ago, go buy Pivx if you want something instant. I still would probably say that if you want something that's good and fast, with a privacy option, etc. But there's room for rail blocks here. That's all I gotta say. Nothing wrong with anyone that got in on it. It's been doing good. Thoughts on ICX? Is ICX the exchange? No, Icon. That's right. I was looking at Icon's charts earlier today, actually. And I can't remember what my notes are, other than my conclusion was now's not the time to buy on Icon. I apologize if my dog and cat are making too much noise. They're playing hide and go seek. But no real strong opinion on Icon, but I think I might take some more time, do some more research on it. I strictly was charting the technicals on it today. I did not do any research. I don't know enough about this coin to give you a good, strong answer on it. You got $300 to invest. All right. Jeff Hull in the house. What's up, buddy? Oh, I miss you, Jeff. I gotta say, Jeff, it was good to see you. We need to get back together. Next time you're down, let's go to a Blazers game or go do something crazy. All right. So yeah, again, this whole video started with the challenge. Again, guys, the challenge is at midnight. Take the snapshot. Again, you go to CoinMarketCap. You're gonna go to Tools. You're gonna look historical snapshots. You're gonna scroll down. And tomorrow you'll see it, okay? Tomorrow there'll be a snapshot that looks a lot like this one. And this is 2017 in January. The goal is that you are going to take your money, you're going to invest it perfectly evenly. I advise you to open up a new Binance account. There's a link down below. Open up another Binance account. And put however much it is. If you got $100, $1,000, put it in. Divide it equally among what the top 10 are, according to tomorrow's numbers. Which, let's be real, it's going to be the same unless something crazy happens. Let's see if that's even possible. Sure, Monero or Stellar could switch spots. We'll have to wait and see. But top 10. Now, I pitched this idea to a few people, and a few people I talked to said, well, hell, I have the money where I would do the top 20, and that's way more exciting. Okay. Well, if you do the top 20, that means you're going to invest in BitConnect. And, you know, and that didn't get them very excited. But there may be one or two that you are highly against and don't believe in. Okay. And that's fine. But again, the whole point of the challenge is that you are going to create that account, buy it. You're going to do the math. You're going to buy the exact amount. You are then going to ask somebody to change the password. You are not allowed to know the password to it. You're going to lock it up. You're going to make copies of that password. And on Christmas Day next year, they are going to gift you the password. And you are going to be so happy. That's the King of Do guarantee. You will be thrilled with what even $100 will do. Last year, if you did this, you would have seen 37,000% return. 37,000. I didn't stutter. I didn't misspeak that. It may even be more than that now. That stat I read about 2 weeks ago. So we'll actually have to do the real calculations. But look, guys, you can hate Ripple with all your heart, but if you bought it last year, you would have bought it at 0.6 of a penny. I remember buying it at 2 pennies, and that was exciting when it went to 7 pennies. So don't underestimate this stuff. I don't expect those type of returns again, but it's just a fun challenge. It's a challenge where you have a lot of confidence that you're going to get a return. It's something to be excited about on Christmas Day next year, that there's going to be more money than when you put in. You're going to be blown away with what just $100 turns into. And so I strongly encourage you guys, join me on this radical ride, and let's do it, okay? Let's have an amazing 2018 Christmas. I can't wait until then. I hope you guys are having a good time. Got a good group of people in here right now, and I know I'm having a good time. Got any other questions here? Just kind of looking over here. BRD, what do I think of bread? Bread is delicious. I had some really good bread last night. I don't know anything about bread. Adding it to my study list. It's only available on Binance. I'm assuming that it's, is it ECR20? They did a token sale, so I'm assuming so. Can't find ECR anywhere. Not familiar with it. I'll have to look it up. They got a white paper, though. We were talking about white papers earlier, guys. Everyone go study bread, and let's find out what we need to know about bread. Let's just go down to what the problem is. Bread is solving. Bitcoin and other currencies are not easy to use. It's uninviting to new users. There are limited places to use your digital assets. Most banks do not offer any of these options today. Okay. So it looks like what? They're going to take a mobile approach, make it easy, turn it into an app. I'll have to look into this one more. I don't see anything that sets it apart from other apps that already do that. If you think that bread is a good idea, that means that you are interested in similar solutions to what OMG is doing right now, OMZGO. So I would strongly encourage you that if you're invested in bread, to go look at that as well. It's a good diversification option. OMG is first to market and has the first mover advantage. Go take a look at that. But this looks very similar in what they're trying to achieve. I'll have to do some research on each of the founders. And this white paper is very, very short. Very nice, easy white paper for someone to learn about. Oh, look. It's possible to invest in ECR20s. You can hold them. Oh, they're doing portfolio management too. Okay, cool. If you like portfolio management solutions, check out Veritasium. Again, first mover advantage there. Not just that, but guys, what Veritasium's trying to pull off is they're going to actually save people's lives in some countries just from the financial solutions. Bring some very prosperous opportunities to some really, really broken countries. Veritasium's really amazing, both in the technology and then also what it solves. Pretty passionate about that one as I've learned more about it. We'll do a whole video on that one sometime. Maybe we'll get an interview. All right. What's up, Roy? How you doing? Tracy K already has the Bread app on your phone. How do you like that, Tracy? Let me know if you like it. What do you think about it? It wants to be the second Coinbase. Interesting. I don't know anyone who wouldn't want to be the second Coinbase. That's for sure. That's one thing. You know, you guys like the news. I recently read that Coinbase. You guys all know they're going to be selling Ripple. That's not the news. But they're actually in the works and talks about an initial public offering. So actually going up onto maybe the New York Stock Exchange or something like that. I'm actually a big fan of it for a few reasons. One, I think it's going to raise awareness, bring in institutional money. There's no doubt that they're super profitable. So it's going to bring a lot of investors into the entire space, not just into, you know, not just into their stock. Will I own some? I want to. Why wouldn't you? Guys, they are bending people over and stealing their wallets. It's unbelievable how much their fees are. They desperately need some competition, but again, first mover advantage. It takes a lot to kill a first mover, right? But we've seen first movers die throughout our history and the history of the internet. MySpace eventually died, right? But at the end of the day, we're talking about just buying some cryptocurrency, and they can lower their fees later, right? Economics of scale, right? That's how business models work. They will lower their fees over time. They'll remain competitive, but they'll stay profitable because of the increase in volume. All right, what are we looking at now? Lucy Pinder Bikini on Google Images. I don't feel like looking that up right now. I don't think my wife's going to let me look up that one. I don't know who that is, but not going to Google that. Let's see. There's SalPay. No, I haven't heard of SalPay ICO. If you don't mind leaving a link in the comments to where we can learn more about that, I really like when people do that, so I can do that after the video, and then so that other people listening can also look at it. Very, very very, very important that we make sure that we're pointing people to what you find interesting so we can learn together. Tracy, I downloaded Bread app a few days ago. Haven't used it because you do all your moving on PC and laptop. That's funny, Tracy. You're like me. I can't imagine doing it on my phone, but I know that that's like the only way my daughter would ever do it. Of course, I'm sitting here with, you know, so many screens in front of me right now, and that's not normal either. So, Tracy, I don't think there's very many people like you and me out there. I'll have to download the app. I'm gonna download it. I'm gonna have to check it out now. You guys got me all interested. I trust Tracy, so if she's already invested and has downloaded the app, I'm gonna have to actually do my homework on that one. More interested in VEN, VET, ICX, Link, and more. Interesting. Yeah, crypto on mobile. I'm kind of excited about Smart Cash. I don't know if I didn't talk about Smart Cash too much. I'm just kidding. I did a whole video on it, really. Smart Cash. One thing that I learned since then is that they are doing a payment system that's going to be a lot more like your Venmo or Cash App. A lot more like Twitter. You get a username. That way I can actually just be like, oh, send money to Tracy. And then it's like not a big deal. Like, it's kind of like, well, how do I put it? I'm not going to say it's a smart contract because it's just really just moving money between accounts, but you're going to basically have an account with your own name. If you guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you guys donate to kingofdo.eth, if you guys send a donation there, which some of you have, thank you so much. When you can actually do that. I bid on that and won that. So I actually have kingofdo.eth. And it's a smart contract that when you send money to it, it redirects it to my real account, essentially. It just creates the name, essentially. So it's not like it's new technology, but for some reason, that hasn't really gotten adoption yet in a lot of apps and things like that. And really, at the end of the day, it goes back again to what I was talking about earlier, is that some of these technologies are being made by people that actually build new blockchain technology, cryptographers and things like that. Okay, people so much smarter than us. Okay. And I get excited about those ones because I know that they're creating something new. And then you have these other coins where they're so focused on user interface that I question what's really going on behind the scenes, right? Because you're so focused on making it easy to use, but like, is it actually going to work, or is it going to blow up someday? You have people, Dash is really, really good at that, right? I have a lot of questions about Dash behind the scenes. Especially with how many forks there's been of Dash. There's a lot of people that believe that their version is a lot better. You've got Pivx, which I love Pivx compared to Dash, as far as what they're doing and the way they're approaching it, and the governance system they have in place. Love it. Then you have brand new coins that have been out for only a few days, like a Bulwark, where they're, it's like a Pivx and Dash hybrid kind of thing. So, anyhow. King of Dude, did you quit your job to focus more on crypto? Currently thinking about it. So this year has been life-changing for me. However, my job is still critical to me right now. Very important. I'm extremely fortunate to work with a couple owners that have given me the opportunity to really build something of my own and from scratch. And to really learn what I want to learn, and what I need to learn for myself. Again, I'm very entrepreneurial. There are foundational things that I need to learn in a safe environment where I can still have fun. Even though I have had a very blessed year, that option still I guess it's still optional, technically speaking. I guess that's the best way to put it. So no, I haven't quit my job. It's still very important. I have considered it. I'm looking at opportunities in the space, and I have communicated to both of my both the owners of my company that that's actually my plan. My plan is that I would like to do blockchain solutions within the e-commerce space, help companies adopt it, help brands adopt it, help them understand it, connect them to the right people, the right applications, the right solutions, and also help them actually build new programs and service offerings with that technology. It's going to happen so fast, so fast, that a lot of people are going to get left in the dark. You know, we're 20 years into the internet, and the majority of brands that I work with about 40 premium, maybe 50 now, premium brands. They still can't even get their mobile websites to work properly. They're not even responsive. You know, it's like in a day and age where it's actually a fact that people use more mobile for shopping than they do a PC. The fact that you don't have a working website for mobile basically is a good example of how fast we've come. The technology. There's people are going to be playing catch up. People are going to play catch up with blockchain technology for the next 30 years, and there's a huge opportunity there. There's an opportunity to get positioned to be in the middle and actually collect a lot of money as you connect people and as it passes through. And so that's something that I'm really passionate about. Been looking at, trying to understand where I can fit in there, and whether that's actually consulting and working with different agencies on how they can brand their new crypto offering, or you know, how can they implement it into their supply chain, logistics, marketing, things like that. Those are things that I'm looking at doing. So still considering whether or not to I guess at the end of the day, I know I'm going to be doing those things. It's just which one's the right one, and which one will I be passionate enough to kind of go full bore, right? Because there's guys, I could list you 1,000 ideas I have, but you got to find the one that's like you're super passionate about, or you just won't do it. You'll get bored, and you won't do it. So, you know, I have a few other personal ventures that I have going on as well right now that I invest time and money into. So I'm still doing those things. So, I haven't quit my job, I guess you would say, but there's a lot of other things, other sources of income and things like that. So I've been considering other things to do more of. It's just some of those things that do generate additional income for me. I can't really sit here and say I'm passionate about it. It's more of those things where it's like, well, I kind of want to make more money, so I'm going to sit down and work my tail off for a while until I make that money. It's not just something I'm naturally super passionate about. I'm doing it out of, you know, I just want to make some more money right now. I won't lie. A lot of the times it's, I want more money to put in the crypto market, so I'm going to go make money right now. So that's definitely part of it. Let's see. Do you have good sources for getting into blockchain development? Wow, that's great. That's a great question. Development in particular, no. If you're looking to become a blockchain developer, there are some boot camps. You're going to see that in the next year. 2018 is going to be like boot camp central. There is such a demand right now. I already get a lot. I already see it. I see a lot of ads and stuff, and get emails on, hey, there's a blockchain boot camp. Come join, learn Solidity in like a week, something like that. You have to have all these prerequisite skills and things like that. You actually have to know how to program, but starting from scratch, that's a whole different story. However, I will say, if you're starting from scratch, you can go and learn Solidity from scratch. It's actually plausible. You could start writing smart contracts in a really big hurry. And maybe you can make your own crypto kitties in a really big hurry. Can you help the token hacking with marketing? So White hat hacking. Oh, yeah. I know about white hat hacking. Interesting. I'll have to take a look at it. It's quite a vague question to ask me if I can help. There's a lot of different disciplines within marketing, specifically digital marketing. So I'd have to take a look, and I'd have to understand the product really, really well and things like that to help them out. Anyone invested in Dragon Coin? Dragon Coin is very, very interesting. It's originally a coin that was developed by the Disney Corporation, and these gentlemen went ahead, because it was open source, took the code. I believe they actually worked on it while at Disney and basically set up shop in Seattle, Washington, right next to where Bittrex is. So they're likely in cahoots a little bit. They probably go to lunch together, but I'm only speculating. That's not true. Anyhow, Dragon Chain, definitely worth checking out. Roy Andrew, what is your net worth? I don't know. What's yours? Let's see. Fun. Anyone looking at Fun? I think Fun's going to have a good, successful year. It's highly speculative, though. I would encourage you to keep your portfolio in Fun at a 5% or less. I strongly advise that. I'm not a financial advisor. It only takes them making a deal with like one casino for people to lose their minds, even though the casino is probably like an Indian casino down the road. So be careful. Everyone's excited because they have a working product, and I've used it and played with it, and guys, it's not good. It's not. Like, there are better games, fake gambling games on my phone. If you're gonna make a browser application, I mean, it's got to be beautiful, seamless. So I'm not impressed at all, to be honest, with Fun. And that's just my opinion. Again, doesn't mean it's not my portfolio, though, because people are gonna lose their freaking mind. And someone's going to leak fake news on, like, they're working with Caesars, and, you know, people are going to lose their freaking mind. The price is going to go to the moon, and I'll finally sell it. Do you have an opinion on Skycoin? I do not have an opinion on Skycoin. Do I know something about Smart Mesh? I know Smart Cash. What's Smart Mesh? Is that even a coin? There it is. Smart Mesh. Number 1000. Dang, dude. You're digging deep. I like this guy. How do I pronounce your name? Siri Dian? Or Sariadian? Or is there a nickname for you? I don't know. I like you. You dig deep. The market cap is a question mark. That's when you're digging deep, guys. That's when you're digging deep. I do that every once in a while, so I have much respect for somebody that digs in here. Let's see. It's on 2 marketplaces that no one ever uses. That's fascinating. Do you know if any of these are... is this one? This one must be Korean, I'm guessing. So I'd probably have to use Gate.io if I ever even wanted to buy it, but very interesting. Smart Mesh, the internet we deserve. Oh, interesting. Peer-to-peer network that connects your smartphones. Someone would have to remind me, but there is someone else trying to do this. I can't remember it. Huh. So there's a use case. This is cool. Smart Mesh. I prefer it when their website works. There we go. Oh, so it's a... Oh, I see. It's just a potential use case. Fascinating. I'll have to check out their white paper. So here's my problem with this in particular. These anyone that's trying to create the new internet. And I've actually had really, really good talks with people a lot smarter than me on this. We have a few problems. One, we've got this whole problem where basically internet service providers are currently in complete control, especially in the United States, as far as things that go underground. Okay, so now we actually got to start dealing with, okay, what if we can do it wirelessly? Because that would be the ideal, right? If I put an antenna on my house, I can feed the internet to everyone around me. In fact, Steve Wozniak, that's how he actually used to deliver internet to his local schools back before there was really internet. So he had internet installed into his house. He put a giant antenna on his house and the school, and then the entire school had access to essentially dial-up internet speeds, but they all had to share it, you know, and so it was crazy slow, and it was all going across the radio wave. So we could do that too now with all the wireless devices we have. But then you have these issues with wireless interference and security issues behind that become really difficult to deal with. Other solutions are laser solutions. You can actually put a laser between your house and the destination that you want to talk to. A lot of companies do this to send super high-speed internet back and forth. But of course, you know, if a bird flies in between, then that's a problem. But those typically are pretty reliable for sending data. So at the end of the day, when it comes to these type of solutions, you've got a whole lot of issues in regards to interference, potential breaches, and things like that. So you're going to have a really, really strong system, and it's going to be revolutionary, whatever it is. So I kind of have a little bit of hesitation in this whole concept that we can fully get rid of the internet service providers, your computer connects to my computer, etc., etc., because right now they're in the way, right? So right now I am staking on a whole bunch of different wallets. I'm connected to a ton of different applications, and other people are on the same network as me, and I'm synced in real time on different networks. You guys know that, right? So anyone that's staked before, you understand what I'm talking about. Except it all goes through a single internet service provider. And so getting around that's going to be really difficult unless my neighbor is also a part of the same network. So I would actually have to somehow figure out how to connect, and they connect, and we all connect together on the same system. And that's going to be difficult to do when you have cell phone carriers that are in the way as well. They're a type of internet service provider in essence now. A lot of control, just something to think about in regards to these. Not saying it's not possible. All I'm saying is that if you're getting in on this project right now, for example, right now it's wildly speculative, something like this. But without a doubt, your little 5-cent investment, if they pulled it off, it's going to be in 10 years. It's not going to be tomorrow. But if they pulled it off, you know, it's one of those stories where you invested 5 cents, and that 5 cents turns into $5,000, $10,000. So, you know, if you put $20 into it and never look at it, it's one of those things that you come back. You know, a lot of people right now in the world, I kid you not, there are people that are probably rich on Ripple and they don't even realize it yet. So, you know, because they bought it a long time ago on a whim, forgot about it. The price has gone up. They're not paying attention. And soon they're about to go find out that that $100 they put on Ripple just bought them a new house, right? So, all right, what else we got? Man, you guys just keep it coming. Elastios ICO. I like Elastios ICO. That's all I got to say. Just a few days. You know, I don't know if that one's available here in America. If I remember right, it's not. I think it's blocked. Roy Andrews asking me one hell of a hard question, and I do not know that answer, Roy. I can honestly tell you that as far as how much study I've done on Bitcoin Cash, I have not done very much study on it. Mostly because initially all of the FUD on it, I just kind of set it aside and was like, I'll wait to research that. I need to give it more time. I guess what I'm saying is I don't understand your question. I want to, so now I'm going to have to go look into that. All right. Well, I've been talking for a while, guys. I wasn't planning on going all the way to New Year's, but it's some people that got on have already, you know, already gone into the new year over on the East Coast, and that's exciting. So I hope you guys had a happy New Year over there. We're having a really good chat. I almost want to keep it going for the chat reasons, but this video is really, really long. I appreciate the really long view times. That definitely helps the algorithm on YouTube. Helps people find my channel. Those people that come and join the channel, the more people that view it, the longer that they view it, the more videos that they watch, etc. Creates the environment for the channel to grow. So we get more smart people like you guys in here. Like this conversation, this conversation we're having right now, all these questions, I'm looking at it here, people are actually talking about new coins, new opportunities. If you go over to, you know, a channel like Cryptos, I love him. One of the reasons why I did this, one of my biggest inspirations to even like put myself out there and just start talking. You know, you're not going to see a conversation like this. All you see on his channel are people just throwing out, you know, they're just trying to hype up their coins that they own, and it's very obvious. It's really clear, and it's not productive. You know, I'm looking here. You guys have literally opened my eyes to a few different, just in the last hour. I now know a few more coins I've never heard of before. I never would have looked at Smart Mesh, but I'm going to go back and read the entire white paper, try to identify if they have a unique selling proposition, find out which types of crypto technologies they're connected to. Do they actually have legitimate cryptography that's been tested, that's been reviewed, analyzed, critiqued by professionals? Do they actually have something there or not? You know, we'll have to go and take a look at that. How do you handle taxes? The United States just actually put out a new statement in regards to taxes. I'm not a tax advisor. Please talk to a CPA. I would tell you to talk to multiple CPAs. Find the one that you believe the most. Get them to give you in writing what they suggest and do what they tell you to do. The government is going to be looking for you to do the right thing, whatever that is. Make sure that it's not what you believe is the right thing, but you can pin it on someone else, ideally a professional advisor. And again, I'll say it over and over, talk to multiple CPAs. You will get multiple different answers. You should be able to pick the one that you like the best in that regard. So that's all I'll say about that. That's the best advice. But the laws didn't really change. Still the same. Still a lot of ignorance in the United States about it. They don't want to address it or start treating it as a real thing on purpose. And it's just unfortunate. So for now, it's basically like baseball cards or silver and gold collectibles, you know. That's how they perceive it. So it's real interesting that it's perceived that way. I'm just over here looking at a lot of questions right now. You guys are having a good conversation, but I think we're going to wrap it up. So, guys, I really appreciate you guys all coming out. Again, I am the King of Do. Please subscribe. I'm desperately asking that you like this as well. I know a lot of you guys support my channel, and you're always here in the chats and everything. Some of you go as far to support the channel with your donations and things, and it's super humbling. But there's nothing that you can do more that would make me more happy than you liking every single video, leaving a comment on every single video, because that tells YouTube that you want to engage with me more, and that means other people are likely to want to engage, and then they'll show my videos to people like you. They will show the videos to people who watched the last video that you watched, right? That's how they do it. And if we want to grow this community and have great conversations like this, that's the way to do it. And of course, it helps grow my channel, grow the brand I'm trying to build, and your guys' support gets me one step closer every single day. We got to take itty bitty steps every single day to be able to position ourselves to hopefully, you know, do more of this more often. That would be the ultimate goal. But you know, it's hard convincing the wife to spend that much time doing it. How much X did your portfolio make? More than the Dow, the S&P 500, and every exchange on the planet combined. Of course, you know, that's why we're doing the challenge, guys. Again, that's why I started this video. It's midnight on the East Coast. Some of you can already do this. Start looking at the numbers. Go to the historical snapshot. Look at what happened a year ago and ask yourself if even just doubling your money is a win. I think that doubling your money is a win. So why not try? Why not see what happens? Take $100, put $10 into each, and just see what happens. Again, you can get Bitcoin from Coinbase down below using the link, and you actually get a bonus if you use $100. I forgot about that. I just realized that you actually get $10, so you'll actually put $11 into each. I just gave you free money next Christmas if you take the challenge right there. I forgot about that. That's hilarious. I forgot. Also, if you're new to trading, I got some links down below to the exchanges. I highly recommend them for newcomers. I use them as well. And when I'm going to be doing some teaching and things like that, those are the exchanges we'll be using to show you how to do some trading, doing some chart analysis, a little bit of technicals and things like that. What coins do I stake? I stake any coin that I can stake. How about that? That's a difficult question to ask. That's like, well, let me open up the portfolio and go through all the coins that are stakeable. I'm staking everything you can possibly stake, and I will continue to do so. If you have a stakeable coin, why would you not? This gentleman says Bittrex is not taking noobs at the moment. Yeah, that's true. I definitely recommend Binance because Binance is the most new friendly site for trading, and you only need an email address to get started. They don't need to verify who you are and give them all this personal information, etc., etc. Just an email. You're signed up. You're good to go. And that's why, you know, even for the challenge, that's what I would say. You know, go create that account, set it up, make your purchases. We can worry later about if you're new. We'll definitely help you. People in this channel will help you understand how to move your money into a wallet, etc., etc. But for the time being, that's a great place to start. If you've never invested in multiple cryptos, maybe you're looking at you know, CoinMarketCap, you're brand new, you don't even know what these things are, but you like the idea of diversification in some of the top performing coins, this would be the way to go. Hey, Stellar's still holding its spot. It's hanging on. Looks like it's gone up. So I don't think Monero is going to make it into our top 10 portfolio. Definitely be in the top 20 though. How many coins make up your portfolio? That's a complicated question. What if I told you I had multiple portfolios? That would probably make more sense. Also keep in mind that when I get donations, I make referral cryptos, any type of anything like that. I try to keep it. I don't want to touch it, right? Because I have a lot of you that believe in a coin a lot, and you believe so much in it that you want to share it, and you actually donate it to me. And sometimes they're very generous, even based on the value of the market. I try really hard to hold them, and I plan on holding them for a very, very, very long time. I actually don't have a date in mind to remove those. So those donations right now, they're not like feeding the family or anything right now. What they are doing is likely sending my daughter, to college, putting me into retirement, things like that. And that I can't say thank you enough for, right? Who knows if this channel will still be around, in 10, 20 years, we'll all have different lives by then. So, unbelievably grateful that someone would even give me anything at all. And if they believe in it, I respect what they believe in enough that I try to hold on to all of them. So I actually have, there's donation accounts below and stuff to keep in all those donations. Oh, sorry. So I actually own so many coins, it'd probably blow your mind. In fact, guys, I have, I have so many, I don't even know how many coins I have, would be the right answer, because I hold on to a lot of them. So, but I wouldn't say that they're actually part of my portfolios, my strategic portfolios. I have portfolios that I've built for other people. That's the number one question I get asked. What's your portfolio? So I actually have that. Sorry. I'm talking for a while without water. I'm going to get some water right here. You sold your Neo at $18. I feel you. Guys, if you are following this channel, we were talking about buying Ant shares at around $2. Ant shares is now Neo, if you didn't know that. But that's not saying much. Again, guys, that's why we were doing this challenge, this 2018 challenge, is because you could have thrown money at anything a year ago today, and you'd be very, very happy. That's it. I don't know what you threw it at or how much, but I just know you're happy. You outperformed everything else out there. See. All right. So I think that's it. A lot of Binance fans. Binance has come on the scene like lightning. They've been adding so many coins. The liquidity is really, really good right now. They continue to add new coins. I use Bittrex. I use... what else do I use? Mercantox, or however you use. I don't know, guys. I literally have a tab. You guys can see it up here. I have a tab called exchanges. There's so many. Cryptopia. I've used them all. I mean it. The ones that I recommend down below, I truly recommend them because for specific reasons, I outline those down below. But Binance is the go-to. It should be your number one, core one for now, in my opinion. Along with a Bittrex account. Between those two, that should solve about 95% of your coin desires and needs. After that, there's some others I recommend, like Cryptopia. And, I'll do a video sometime on some of these decentralized exchanges. But those are really scary for some people. I fear for people who get the decimal in the wrong spot. You will create a contract that will ruin you in your investment. It scares me. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to mess it up for anybody. So for now, I'll continue to just recommend exchanges. There's some new exchanges that are coming out that are decentralized with actual desktop applications that make it much easier to use, and it's a lot less scary. We're going to wait for those to develop before I kind of switch gears and recommend those. But for now, just look down below. Z Classic will make you money. Yeah, Z Classic I saw recently. Didn't like one of the developers come back and the price shot up? Something like that. I knew there was something going on. Cryptopia doesn't look at volume. Interesting. Alright, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. Again, I'm the King of Do. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Happy New Year and all those fun things. I hope you guys have a good New Year's Eve. Be safe. The best advice I can have is, don't drink and drive. Use a service, Uber, Lyft, whatever you have in your area. And do your friend a favor. You know, if you're oftentimes someone that's making the decision to drive when you know they shouldn't also isn't in the right state of mind to take good advice, like getting a Lyft or Uber. Please order one for them tonight. Do the right thing. A lot of times people make that decision because they can't afford it. Ask yourself tonight, when your friend's about to walk out the door and drive home drunk, ask yourself how much you would pay to make sure he doesn't die tonight. You'll be more than happy to pay for his Uber. And so what you need to do is pull out your phone, call Uber, call your Lyft, and tell your friend you made the decision and it's on the way already, and you will help him get his car tomorrow. Okay? Do the right thing, guys. Stay safe. I want everyone to have a happy New Year's. And have a good time, too. So have all the fun in the world with your friends tonight. Light things on fire. And have a good New Year's. And we'll do it again next year. So again, amazingly long live stream, amazing attendance, amazing group of people came in here, and a lot of people are going to benefit from this. Hundreds, if not thousands of people are going to watch this video, benefit from it, and I really, really hope that everyone gets something out of it that's going to help them succeed in 2018. Looking forward to doing more of this with you guys. We'll keep the videos much shorter than this more often than not, but a lot of people are sticking it out and enjoying the live broadcast, and I've enjoyed being with you guys because this is what it's about. This is my New Year's Eve party with myself. I'm having a party with you guys tonight, and I've really, really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys the rest of the year. All right, so that's it. I'm gonna go now, and I hope you have a good, happy New Year's. And you know, as always, I am the King of Do. May the Force be with you.